Welcome to Get Some Games, and today we're talking about the 2016 WWE Royal Rumble. This is kicking off our WWE week here on YouTube at Get Some Games. And for the video, I'm doing my first Raw main event of my new Universe mode. So I'm just doing the triple threat match that they set up on there, predetermined. About the Royal Rumble, let's start right off with it. I'm gonna just skip the pre-show match because it was okay, but the winning it didn't mean anything. Mark Henry and Jack Swagger just ended up being in the Rumble for like 15 seconds apiece. It was pretty pointless. The match was okay. It was good to see the crowd still love Damian Sandow, but pretty forgettable. But the first official match of the actual pay-per-view event was Ambrose and Owens for the Intercontinental title match in a last man, or for the Intercontinental title in a last man standing match. And this was easily a smart move, a very smart move to start the event off with. This crazy intense match. Owens and Ambrose is definitely the best rivalry going on in WWE right now. This was a very, very good match. It was pretty much impossible for that match to be bad. There were some great spots. The last spot of Kevin Owens going through two tables was very well done. The match was pretty much nonstop. There weren't any boring spots at all, or there weren't any boring moments in the whole match itself. It was good to see Ambrose win. This was a match where I didn't really care who won. I would have been happy with either guy winning, Ambrose or Owens, just because they're two of my favorites, two of my favorite guys right now. And I think either way would have been smart. It's always nice to see Ambrose keep the title, though, and that they continue to push him as being a legitimate guy. And the Intercontinental title looks incredibly strong right now because of this feud and all the great matches that these two guys keep having. Is this the end of the feud? I'm not sure. Owens and Ambrose did square off a little bit later on in the actual Rumble match. That didn't last very long because, well, I'll get into the Rumble match later. First match was awesome. Second match, though, maybe not so awesome. The New Day versus the Usos for the WWE Tag Team titles. And along with, it seems like pretty much everyone else, especially the crowd in Miami, or they were in Florida. I'm not positive they were in Miami, but everyone seems to be completely over the Usos. I've never really been big fans of them at all. It seemed like when they were hot, the whole tag team division was pretty weak. Like with the El Matadors and Primetime Players and the Usos, maybe one other team that I'm forgetting. But now that the tag team division is actually pretty hot, they just seem so boring. People are so over them, especially with they were out for almost maybe like 6 to 9 months. They just weren't around because of an injury. Anyway, New Day, on the other hand, is incredibly hot right now. Everybody loves them. Everybody loves to see their promos. Everybody thinks they're very entertaining in the ring, and they're the champions, and they deserve to be the champions. I don't think any other tag team is even close to their level right now. There might be a couple in NXT, but on the main roster, maybe only the Lucha Dragons are a legitimate threat, and Kalisto is really working on his own right now anyway. So I'm very glad to see the New Day keep the tag titles, and I hope the Usos really don't come near the titles again. I'm sure they will, but keep them on the New Day as long as possible. Maybe this is just really wishful thinking, but maybe we can see Enzo and Cass from NXT take them on at WrestleMania, maybe Fastlane, but that would be an awesome WrestleMania match to see Enzo just come out and do their entrance to the WrestleMania crowd, and it would be fantastic. I can't wait for Enzo and Cass to join the main roster. But that match as a whole, the New Day and Usos, pretty forgettable. Glad that New Day won. They pretty much had to. So next was the third U.S. title bout between Kalisto and Del Rio. Kalisto winning the first one, and then Del Rio winning the title right back on SmackDown. So this was a really fun match. Del Rio keeps getting super dangerously close to taking Kalisto's mask all the way off. I don't know why he keeps trying to do that. I know it's a huge sign of disrespect, so I guess that's why. But we've pretty much seen all of Kalisto's face at this point. I know it's not like a big story or anything like that they're going for. The matches, if Del Rio was a better character. I've never ever been a fan of Del Rio. I was actually kind of like disappointed when he came back and instantly got the U.S. title. It seems like they're trying to have a Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio vibe with these two, but Del Rio is nowhere near Eddie Guerrero, and I was very glad to see Kalisto win the U.S. title back. I hope he has a good long run. He looks like a great champion, and he could definitely keep the prestige up of the U.S. title. Um, Very fun match. The Salito del Sol is a great finisher. I love seeing that. And there wasn't really any BS that happened. It was just straight up. Kalisto actually was more than usual, really reminiscent of Rey Mysterio in this match. I don't know if he was going for that specifically, but I don't know. There was something about the way he wrestled, in particular in this match, that made me just really think of Rey Mysterio. But I think Kalisto has huge potential, not just as like, look, we have another Rey Mysterio type character. He could definitely stand on his own. He's already, I don't, I definitely don't think the Lucha Dragons are done, but he is really just getting pushed as a singles competitor right now, and I think he can definitely stand on his own. He is really good on the mic, so he's definitely not boring or anything like that. I don't like wish that his segments would get over with after or while he's doing them, and he's incredibly entertaining in the ring. There was one botch. It looked pretty bad. Kalisto like dropped right on the top of his head, but it looked like that might have been Del Rio's fault more than anything. But it was just one, and even though it stood out, it was the only major one, so it was no big deal there. Botches are going to happen, especially when you're wrestling the way he does and they do. So very happy that Kalisto won that match. And then after that, the final non-Rumble match was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. This is the best Divas feud we've had in a long time. The match itself was really good. Ric Flair kissing Becky was like really kind of unnecessary, especially just as a random distraction. Like I don't know. It seems kind of pointless. Just more Ric Flair being Ric Flair. But Charlotte continues to have good heel tactics, especially just having her dad help her so often. But the spot at the end, the big distraction spot, with when Becky had Charlotte in the disarmer, and then Ric Flair took off his jacket and threw it at her. Becky just it was like stuck on her head. She had way more trouble with it than she should have, obviously selling like how she had to get it off and was forced to let go of Charlotte's arm. But that seems kind of ridiculous. It's just, I wish WWE could think of better things, like better reasons for people to win, or like a bigger distraction. Like really, she was really that caught off guard because he threw his jacket on her, and it took her like 5 seconds to get it off of her. So it was, that kind of brings you out of it, but it's okay that in the end Charlotte won, because after that Sasha Banks came out and thankfully saved the segment. Charlotte was beating Becky down like after the match, and Sasha came out as soon as her music hit. The whole crowd went wild. You get the whole NXT crowd from Full Sail there, since it's in Florida. Everybody marked out for Sasha, including me, when her music hit. She's hopefully separated herself from Team Bad now and is just going to stand on her own. She's a really legitimate contender. Obviously, I'm almost positive she hasn't lost a match, or at least a singles match, since getting called up from NXT. And she had a swerve a little bit, or a fake one, where she attacked Becky, and it looked like she was going to side with Charlotte to go back in the day when Sasha and Becky were close in NXT, or sorry, Sasha and Charlotte were close in NXT, and they did their little handshake thing, and then Charlotte was leaving the ring. Sasha took 2 steps towards Charlotte, and the crowd exploded. And Sasha, goes all the way and attacks Charlotte and sets up a feud between those two. So that was awesome to see. I was so glad that happened. And hopefully, maybe they'll do a triple threat between the 3. Maybe Charlotte will have the belt, and at Fastlane they'll do Becky versus Sasha for number 1 contender to fight Charlotte at Mania. A lot of different possibilities that they can go, but it's awesome that now we know for sure that Sasha is going to have a title match at WrestleMania. That's like a 90% guarantee now. We're going to have an amazing Divas match at WrestleMania. That's almost guaranteed now. All right. Moving on to the big match, the most fun match of the year, at least to me, and I'm sure almost everybody agrees. The Royal Rumble match. Of course, Reigns enters number one. Rusev enters number two. Reigns throws out Rusev pretty quickly. And then the biggest surprise, I think easily, one of the only few surprises of the whole Rumble, is that the rumors were true and AJ Styles is now in WWE. I really hate that dirt sheets come out and things are said on Twitter, and even if you're not looking for them, it's almost like you're almost guaranteed to run into some sort of spoiler because of signings, or sometimes WWE even makes it news. Because it would have been really, really cool to have no idea that AJ Styles was coming to WWE, and for him to just appear in the Rumble. That would have been an incredible moment. His music hit and everyone was kind of quiet. Nobody, obviously nobody knew exactly who it was. And then when the word phenomenal came up on the screen, the whole crowd exploded. It was one of those goosebump inducing pops, and AJ Styles walks out there and just gets a huge pop from everybody. Everyone obviously knows who he is in the crowd. The announcers even talk about his past credentials, calling out his moves the same like the Styles Clash. It was an incredible moment to see AJ Styles in a WWE ring. And he actually survived for quite a long time. And I think they were really smart of having Kevin Owens be the one to eliminate him, since everyone, all the internet smarks at least, still, they obviously love Kevin Owens, and he's one of the best heels in the company. So if anyone was going to eliminate AJ Styles, Kevin Owens was the perfect guy. Roman Reigns would have drawn massive heat for being the one to eliminate him, especially if he did it quickly. But AJ had a great showing, and I'm really looking forward to him being in. I'm sure he's going to be in the mid card for quite a while, or at least for a little bit, and that's going to be awesome. Just all the potential mashups that he has in WWE. Can't wait to see how that goes. Um, he was really only the major surprise. They would like to have us believe that Triple H at the end at number 30 was a major surprise, but pretty much everyone guessed that was going to happen. That was really obvious. That maybe not that he would win, but Triple H being there was almost a guarantee. I would have bet money on it if I had to. But the Wyatts had control of the Rumble for quite a bit. One thing that I've seen people point this out a lot, and I agree. It was great to see the Wyatts destroy everybody and then have Brock Lesnar be the one to come out and eliminate most of them. So that was really good because that obviously Lesnar remains super strong, and the Wyatts, it doesn't hurt them so much to have Lesnar take them out. But it was so weird for the Wyatts to come back and eliminate Lesnar, which was good because that also doesn't make Lesnar look bad to get eliminated by three huge people, four if you count Bray. But then they just leave. Like, why would Strowman, Rowan, and Harper just leave after doing that? The rule itself is so stupid that if you get eliminated from the Rumble, you can come back in the ring and eliminate people. That itself has always bothered me and doesn't really make any sense. But it is what it is. I don't see why they didn't just stay in there and eliminate everybody else and let Bray win that way. Roman Reigns, as soon as the League of Nations came out, I don't know why they brought him under the ropes. Again, they could have easily just thrown him over the ropes and have him be done. But then Rusev drove him through the table at the announcer table after they just beat the hell out of him. As soon as they bring the stretcher out, it's super obvious what they're going for. Reigns is going to sit out for a while, and he did. He sat out for a long time until finally coming back to Superman punch Sheamus and get back in the ring. Now, if they obviously they want everybody to love Roman Reigns so he can be the top guy and doesn't get booed all the time, but having him sit out for half the Rumble and then win is just not the way to do it. And thankfully, he didn't win. More great things to see. Sami Zayn, kind of a surprise entrance. It's not like a big return or anything since he's returned to NXT for a couple weeks now. But it was great to see him and Kevin Owens fight. Kevin Owens did kind of limp. It took him forever to get to the ring, but the second he got in the ring, it was like his injury never even happened. And he was in there going 100 miles an hour like he should be, but, well, like a non-injured Kevin Owens should be. And seeing him and Sami Zayn go at it was awesome. Zayn eliminated Kevin Owens. I bet that felt really good for him to finally get that revenge. And since it's almost a for sure thing now that we're not getting Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, but Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania is definitely the next best thing. It's actually probably even better, even though we've seen the match already. Those two going at it at WrestleMania is going to be fantastic. I really hope that happens. Whether or not it's for a title, it doesn't have to be. That's fine. They can keep the title on Ambrose. That'd be great. Because you don't need a title to make Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn interesting. They already have a huge history there. Chris Jericho, it's kind of weird. He was in there longer than anybody else. He was in there from really close to the beginning to really close to the end. It was cool to see Triple H eliminate, since Reigns wasn't going to win. I'm glad that they actually eliminated him third to last, just to mix it up a little. Everything about this Rumble seemed like it was so easy to predict, but a lot of that didn't happen. So seeing Dean Ambrose in at the very end was really cool. For a couple seconds, you thought he might win, but it was obvious from, at least to me, before the Rumble started, that Triple H was going to win. And as soon as he came out at 30, it was like an absolute lock that he was going to win it. Not that it matters, because this is just setting it up for Reigns to take it from him at WrestleMania. Anyways, at this point, I'm just kind of recapping it instead of actually just reacting to it or giving my opinions. You all saw it, so you all already know what happened. So definitely let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love that they made it for the title, mix things up. It's always, anytime WWE mixes things up and makes it not the normal or not so easy to predict, it's always better that way. There weren't really any legends at all in this Rumble. I mean, AJ Styles is a legend in his own right, but as far as WWE legends, there weren't really any that came out that were a shocker. There was most of the great stuff happened towards the beginning, like obviously AJ Styles coming out and things like that. It kind of died down at the end when you just got random mid-carder after mid-carder after mid-carder. Kofi's Rumble spot wasn't as good as, it's probably his worst one. Like Big E just caught him, which was cool. Like, what he did after the spot was great. Like Big E catching him wasn't that big of a deal, but having him go across run around the ring with them was fun. I saw Kofi grab someone's popcorn and someone's Coke or pop, whatever it was. That was fun to see. The spot itself wasn't anything crazy. It was still cool. That is the one thing where I hope every Rumble for forever has a Kofi Kingston spot. That's the one constant that, I don't care how predictable it is anymore. It's got to be there, and they're very aware of that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it so many years in a row. And that might be it. That's all I can think of that happened. I'm playing, so I don't have any notes to look at or anything like that. Not a great Rumble. I wouldn't say a great Rumble. There were a lot of good stories in it, but as a whole, there was a lot of, I don't know, just when you see Mark Henry and Jack Swagger and just so many low mid-card people come out, you want, every time the clock's counting down, you want a big mark out moment to happen when somebody comes out. Obviously, they can't do that every time, but I don't think there was enough. I was hoping for maybe a Finn Balor. This one was obviously a super reach, but I was hoping for Jeff Hardy, and when the Social Outcast music hit, for 2 seconds, I thought it might be Jeff Hardy. I started freaking out, but then it's to find out that it's just Curtis Axel who finally got eliminated from a Rumble. That was kind of disappointing. Of course, if I forgot anything else, please let me know in the comments. Please don't talk crap about my 2K16 playing, because I'm more paying attention to what I'm saying over playing the game, and I know I'm not playing very smart right now at all. So please subscribe right here on YouTube for more video games content like this. This whole week, I'm doing a WWE week where I will be starting a new Let's Play series and maybe doing a couple other things. I'm kicking it off with this Rumble reactions video right here. And we have a weekly video games podcast, other Let's Plays, interviews, WWE related things, and non-WWE related things. So if you're a fan of that and everything else we do, please subscribe right here on YouTube. And until next time, I'm out.